Hi, welcome to another episode of Lincoln to Local. I'm Macy Hedges, and I'm joined by Director of National Affairs, LeeAnna Covington. LeeAnna, we're entering the home stretch of the legislative session. Talk to us a little bit about what happened at the Capitol this week.
Sure. Well, there's a lot going on at the Capitol right now, bill-wise. Everyone's finishing their items up that they have planned for their agenda. But it's important because it's an election year. So we're seeing some differences in session. This session is significantly different than last session. There's not a lot of bills being signed into law that have been passed by both the House and the Senate. I think Governor Fallin announced earlier this week that she effectively would veto about 15 bills, which really adds to that margin of new laws not being passed out of the Capitol this year. So that's a very interesting thing. Another interesting thing that happened yesterday afternoon was the House took up a veto bill, a veto override bill, which effectively would override the governor's veto decision. I think it's on House Bill 2461 by Representative Turner dealing with Second Amendment rights. They took that up and passed that by a margin of 86-3. So that will continue through. It'll go over to the Senate maybe this next week, and they can decide whether they'll take it up or what they'll do with that on the Senate side. Of course, it would require a 2/3 vote by the Senate to effectively override that decision, but we're monitoring that closely.
Great. This week was also FFA Convention here in Oklahoma City. Talk about Oklahoma Farm Bureau's involvement in that event.
Yes, Farm Bureau is a large supporter of the FFA, of course. I know we have several employees and members who are FFA members. I know I was an FFA member. I think you were too when we were in high school. It's a very great organization that promotes agriculture and public speaking skills and a wide variety of things for our youth. So Oklahoma Farm Bureau supports the FFA heavily. We attended a legislative banquet yesterday evening where both the governor and many House and Senate members were there for the support of the FFA. The state president gave a short speech. It was a great event for supporting agriculture and youth.
And I understand you had the opportunity to visit with our Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee this past weekend. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Yes, I went up to travel to Catoosa, which in northeast Oklahoma. So we had about 30 YF&R folks up there. There were folks from Lawton to Woodward to the far northeast corner of the state, so gave them a public policy update. They're really a great group of folks and represent kind of the future of agriculture. So it's always exciting to be with them and hear what's going on their farming and ranching operations, and also kind of what they're hearing about in the country about what's happening at the Capitol. So that's always a great time. I enjoy the YF&R very much.
It sounds like it's been a pretty productive week for Oklahoma Farm Bureau.
Yes, a very great, busy week, and we're enjoying it.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Sure.